What's going on, everybody? My name's Dylan, and I love cinema, and on this channel, we talk about all things cinema. It is officially June 1st. This video will come out right after I get done recording this and edit it, which it shouldn't be too long. And we are ranking every movie I've seen in the month of May and also April. I didn't release one for April, and I'll explain why. I didn't hardly watch any movies in April. So the rule of thumb here is I rank every movie that I've never seen, even if it isn't brand new. So there are movies on here that I consider classics that I haven't ever seen until this month. In April, I seen like two. In May, I think I seen eight or nine. So I did a little bit better in May, and my other videos I've done on this haven't done too well, but I'm gonna keep uploading. I'm gonna make it a goal to upload at least once a week on this channel, because if you didn't know, I run a whole other channel, my gaming channel. It's a little bit bigger than this one, and I upload multiple times. That one's like what I'm trying to make my full-time job on top of the job I have in real life. So, but I do want to upload on here more often because I do love movies and I do love talking about them. I do want to say before we get into this, notably, I have not seen Obsession or Backrooms. I'm seeing Obsession tomorrow, and I'm seeing the Backrooms this Saturday. So those will both be on ranking every movie I've seen in June. But this is May, technically, and April. And the reason I watched a lot of TV in April, and I rewatched a lot of movies. I didn't I didn't watch a lot of new stuff, unfortunately, but we'll get into that. So let's get to our tier list. Let's look at the movies. Let's look at the tiers. Let's look at it. So our tiers are just the classic S A B C D. Whenever I do at the very end of the year, I'll rank every movie I've seen this year. And then I may just do one for strictly 2026 movies. I might do two. But I've been seeing a lot of old movies and new movies because I'm trying to educate myself, get a little bit more versed. So, our first movie I've seen, this is one of the April movies, is Shelter, with Jason Statham. And he's basically a guy that lives in a lighthouse, and he's like, I don't remember a lot about this movie. That was like the beginning of April. Wow. It's basically another Jason Statham movie. It's just another action flick with him in it. It was solid. Um, I don't know if I'd ever watch it again. It was not a bad movie, but it wasn't anything special either. So for me, Shelter gets a C. I thought it was a fine movie, and the ending wasn't bad. But as far as like the substance we got, it was a fine flick. Just basically a guy outcasting himself uh, at a lighthouse, and then eventually something makes him leave the lighthouse and go, do Jason Statham stuff. I'm not gonna spoil anything here. I'll get into that right now. There won't be any spoilers. They will kill you. This one did come out in 2026. It either came out in April or May. I seen it in May. This one is essentially um, this chick goes to a hotel because a family member is there, and the entire like hotel, all these wacky characters are trying to kill her. Name of the movie. Um, they have some sort of like superpowers, I guess you could say, because they are worshiping an entity. I'll be as vague as possible. It was a decent movie. I thought it was a little bit better in Shelter. Whenever it was revealed what they were serving and whatnot, it was fine. It was enjoyable. It's similar to like a Ready or Not, which I haven't seen the second one yet. That's gonna happen. I'm gonna do that. I'm waiting for it to come out streaming. I missed it in theaters. I'm so upset about that. Um, but it's similar to that concept, but I think Ready or Not does it better. This one's a little bit more goofy, a little bit more people flying around. It's not a terrible movie. You may like it more than I did. I thought it was fine. The Nice Guys, a Ryan Gosling movie. Um, so basically, one of these guys, Russell Crowe, is like a hired gun, and he just beats up people for a price. And Ryan Gosling is, I believe, just a detective. And then something happens, and they end up having to team up. And it's a pretty good movie, pretty funny movie. A lot of people say it's Ryan Gosling's best movie. I disagree. Really good though. I thought it was really good. It's teetering S tier. I've only seen it once though, if I watched it again, maybe it gets there. A lot of Ryan Gosling screaming in this movie. It was kind of funny. Freelance with John Cena. I didn't even know this movie existed. Came out in like 2024. It was solid. It was just like an action movie where John Cena gets hired by some of his old military buddies to go protect a foreign leader, and everything hits the fan. Um, it reminds me a lot of True Memoirs of an International Assassin, the Kevin James movie, but the Kevin James movie was better. I will say Freelance has a nice, like, kind of like a summer vibe to me because it's mostly set in a tropical setting. So this one would more likely be something I would rewatch, but it was nothing special in my opinion. It was a very solid movie, and there is a chance I rewatch it. And it's more memorable than Shelter, in my opinion. But it's nothing original in my head. It's a solid movie. Some things are kind of goofy, but it's not a bad movie. If you like John Cena, you'll like this movie. It was enjoyable watch. Now we have Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. This one came at the end of last year, and I've been waiting on it because me and my girlfriend we wanted to watch it, but we have very different schedules, so it kept getting pushed off and off and off. And then like I think last week, we finally got to watch it, and I'm a big Knives Out fan. The first one's probably a top 10 movie for me. The second one's also really good. This one is also really good. Uh, I don't think it's as strong as the others, just because we don't have as much Benoit Blanc, and I really like a lot of Benoit Blanc, but he's still a big part of the movie. He's in there a lot. Um, some of the comedy in this did hit. I will say this one was decently funny. It had some funny moments. So the first one took place at like a family estate. Second one on an island. This one takes place at like a church, prominently. And someone dies, as always, and it's just basically a big old game of Clue. I love the Knives Out series. This one for me is teetering S tier. I don't know. I've seen the other Knives Out a million times. I need to see this one a little bit more, but this one's really good. It's still another solid entry to the Knives Out trilogy now, and I think it is a solid 9 out of 10 trilogy. Borderline perfect. So, now we have Inception. Now, this is what I was considering that people were calling like a classic. So, this is a Leonardo DiCaprio film, and it's basically he puts people in dreams, and in those dreams he can put people in other dreams. There's like a point where they're like in a dream, in a dream, in a dream, in a dream. It is very confusing, and it's hard to talk about without ruining anything. I went into it blind. I thought it was a really good movie. Do I consider it S tier? I don't know. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really enjoyable. I don't know. It's teetering. Like given my mood, these three movies in A tier could be S tier. Inception's really good. Uh, I think it needs, and it's another one where I'm not like super confident it would be S tier. I'd probably have to rewatch it a little bit more. So Inception, really good. I highly recommend. Go into it blind, like I did, which I guess I told you a little bit about it, but yeah. Now we have The Martian, which is basically this guy is with his group, and they're on Mars, and something happens, and he gets left there. He gets left on Mars, so he's just stuck there trying to survive for like the whole movie. Really fun concept. Has members from the Interstellar cast in it, which, speaking of himself, Matt Damon is also an Interstellar, who is also a guy who lives on a planet by himself, so that's also kind of crazy. Um, really good. It was really good. Pretty funny. Also A tier, I think. It was a really solid month of movies. I said Interstellar's still better, in my opinion, but this one's pretty good. It's like a funnier version of Interstellar, I guess you could say. So, Crazy Stupid Love. This is the Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling movie. This movie's also really funny. Has Emma Stone in it. Has a lot of funny twists. I'd probably be more willing to give this one S tier than I would the others. Because basically how this goes It starts off with Steve Carell and his wife, and she's dumping him. She's dumping him, and he doesn't take it well. And then he gets down in his dumps, and he goes to this popular bar, and he just goes there and complains and complains and complains. And then eventually Ryan Gosling's character uh, helps him start meeting people, teaches him the swagger, I guess you could say, of picking up women. And the movie just it goes in all sorts of directions, but it's really funny. This one's actually a really good movie. I think I would give it S tier. Undertone. This is the podcast horror movie, and a lot of people it didn't work for them because it's audio driven or audio driven, where most of everything you see is just imagining. It's just hearing it. But I thought it was pretty good. Like, I don't think it's a horror classic by no means, but I actually liked it a little bit more than They Will Kill You. And then at the end of the movie, we do get a little bit of, like, stuff where you actually get to see. But basically, it's this girl and this guy who are friends, and they do a podcast apart. So it's like on a call. And they got sent these weird files, and they're going through them one by one felt like 2 weeks. Like, that was my issue, is how long the podcast lasts. Because they get in the call, talk for like 5 minutes, and then she'd be like, I'm done. See you next month, was pretty much how they were doing it. But eventually they listened to all of it. It's decently creepy. It's a solid horror movie. I enjoyed it. Had some holes, but, most movies do. Kill Code. Some dystopian society slop garbage. I couldn't even finish it. The acting was terrible. The script was terrible. You've probably never even heard of it. Don't waste your time with it. I do think it came out this year. It just wasn't a good movie. I couldn't even get into it. The acting is what was like it was bad. It was bad acting. It was 2B acting. Actually worse. Kill Code, not for me. I don't know. I didn't enjoy anything about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm good here. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is what we'll end off with here. So this one had a little bit of controversy because a lot of people were like, it's not a good movie, it's not enjoyable, it's purely for kids. I thought it was pretty good. Maybe a little worse than the first one. I thought it was just an entertaining flick. Like it's exactly what I'd probably want in a Mario movie. It's just turn off your brain and watch a Mario movie. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. I know a lot of people didn't like it. And I may watch it again if I watched like both of them, and then eventually whenever I have kids, I'd probably show them that. I don't think it's like an incredible movie, but I don't think it was like the worst thing ever either. It's just a really solid movie. So, but yeah, that was every movie I watched in May. We'll see if anyone sees it. No one's really seen the other ones. It's kind of a bummer, but I'll keep doing it. I'm gonna try and upload on here more often. Coming next, Will Tibbet. I already have a video recorded where I'm going over horror universes I think I can and won't survive in. And then I'm going to go over it, my favorite horror movie. I'm going to talk about it, go through the entire plot, say what I like about it. I'm going to do like an in-depth, researched, scripted video just to see how it does, which I've already pretty much done with the script. So if you guys are interested in that, maybe subscribe for that, or maybe you just like this video right here. And, you don't have to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, if it gave you any sort of enjoyment, you do not have to subscribe. I will not make you commit to anything, but a like would go a long way. But my name's Dylan. I appreciate you watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.